Come on.
Okay. Cardinal Roger Mahony said in a 1998 letter, Creating a Culture of Life, that any society, any nation, is judged on the basis in which they treat its weakest members, the last, the least, the littlest. Meals on Wheels is a nonprofit organization that enables us to efficiently and compassionately take care of our aging loved ones and neighbors. Meals on Wheels is a necessity for this community, one that will ensure our growing senior citizen population is receiving the care that they deserve while providing them with not only a nutritious meal, but friendly visits and a safety checkup. Providing these things to our senior citizens helps them cope with three of the biggest threats of aging: hunger, isolation, loss of independence. For many, Meals on Wheels could quite literally be the difference in being able to stay in the comfort of their own homes or having to relocate to a nursing facility. With a life expectancy being at an all-time high of 78.8 years, comes the cost of more years spent during the struggles of old age. Now is the time for us to take care of the ones who once took care of us. Right now, on the Kenai Peninsula, there's roughly 1,600 people living in or benefiting from senior citizen homes. This does not include all of those that spend most of their time in the hospitals or living alone. A report done by the Alaska Department of Labor on January 15th of this year says that the population of people 65 years and older has increased 36% since 2010, with no signs of slowing down. It's estimated that by the year 2050, people over the age of 65 will represent 20% of the United States population. And while this number may seem kind of small or insignificant, it actually represents an additional 40 million Medicare-aged patients on the already overwhelmed healthcare system. Who's going to pay? Who's going to pay the billions of dollars in unnecessary Medicaid and Medicare expenses for our senior citizens to prematurely give up their independence due to common effects of aging? Taxpayers will pay. You, me, and everyone else we know. This silver tsunami, as people call it, is due to medical advancements that have aided in people living a longer life, and also the baby boomer generation just reaching an old age. Of Alaska's 92,000, roughly, senior citizens, 25,000 of them are isolated or living alone, and 21,500 are living at or near the poverty line, which is making getting adequate health care and nutrition, if not just difficult, impossible. Even the most independent of people will eventually have a lack or a loss of mobility and in their health. And being declined in these ways or these areas of our life could strip away our independence and in turn diminish the quality of life. Without programs like Meals on Wheels, senior citizens will be forced to give up their homes and trade them in for nursing facilities. A study by the National Foundation to End Senior Hunger, titled The Spotlight on Food Insecurity Among Senior Americans, states that the number of food insecure seniors is projected to increase by 50% when the youngest of the baby boomer generation reaches the age of 60 at the year 2025. And if you live alone, the risk of this is even higher. According to another article published in April of 2007 by the University of Cincinnati's Academic Health Center, studies show that there's a rapid decline in geriatric medicine studies. So this leaves the pending question: who's going to take care of the rapidly growing, aging senior citizen population? Meals on Wheels has been pushed by one single overall goal since its first delivery in 1954 by some Philadelphia citizens. The goal is and was to support our senior neighbors to extend their independence and health as they age. What was once just a little compassionate idea is now one of the largest social movements in our country, and it now currently helps nearly 2.4 million seniors annually in virtually every community in the United States, with their partnership of over 5,000 independently run local programs. Through their outreach of this network of locally run programs, Meals on Wheels has already served 11,222 seniors in Alaska and over 723,000 meals to Alaskan seniors. With your sponsorship, We can increase these numbers by including those of our own community who need to be reached by the benefits of this organization. Meals on Wheels provides adequate nutrition, which is essential for health, functionality, and the ability to remain independent. Healthy eating can increase one's mental activity, resistance to illnesses and disease, increase energy levels, and so much more. Meals on Wheels makes it possible for senior citizens to have adequate nutrition even when family support or their resources may be lacking. Meals on Wheels also provides friendly visits to those who may be otherwise lonely or even forgotten about. When the trusted volunteer shows up with not only a hot plate but a warm and friendly smile, it gives the senior citizen something to look forward to, a reason to get up that day. It could be their only interaction with the outside world. Those who are also able to still get to a public setting, like the senior centers where Meals on Wheels serves, they're provided with valuable social interactions and companionship. I think every one of us can agree that a meal can always be more than just the food on your plate, but also the company around the table. Meals on Wheels provides daily safety checkups. People who are living alone have a greater risk of falls and slips and all sorts of other medical emergencies. And with the Meals on Wheels trusted staff and employees or volunteers that stop in, there's always someone who could raise a red flag if something's just not quite right, or in the case of an emergency, families can be notified and medical attention can be sought. Meals on Wheels keeps a watchful eye on our loved ones when our other responsibilities make it unable for us to do so. I think that Meals on Wheels is something our entire community can be proud of. Not only does it make communities more united and stronger, safer, and even more self-efficient, but it saves taxpayers billions of dollars in healthcare costs. An example of how it does so is that Meals on Wheels has shown a decline in the falls that happen in the United States. And we spend $34 billion a year on falls. Meals on Wheels says, according on their webpage, that it costs less to provide a senior citizen with Meals on Wheels for an entire year than it costs to spend one night in the hospital or 6 days in a nursing home. While any contribution will be helpful and beneficial, after looking at the projected increase of senior citizen populations, how can we not afford to support Meals on Wheels in our community? Everyone can be benefited in some way by the impact of this organization. Sponsoring Meals on Wheels will result in more senior citizens being able to stay independent in their own homes that they actually want to be at and have a higher quality of life. We will all avoid much more costly healthcare alternatives like hospitalizations, frequent and often reoccurring emergency room visits, and even nursing home placements. Everyone should also be able to agree that saving our tax dollars that could be better spent elsewhere is a benefit for everyone. By choosing to sponsor Meals on Wheels, you will be providing a safety net for our current and future senior citizens. And in turn, you'll set in place a system that we will one day reap the benefits of as age takes its turn on us. I know you'll be hearing from a lot of other organizations today, and you have a difficult choice to make in which one you're going to sponsor. But I hope that you can see the need for Meals on Wheels in our community and just how important it is that we act now as the baby boomer generation is aging rapidly and the senior citizen population is growing without any signs of slowing down. Meals on Wheels is a necessity for this community, one that will ensure our aging loved ones and neighbors are receiving the nutrition and care that they deserve. I look forward to working with you in the future as we team up to raise the standard of care for the weakest members in our own community. Thank you.